It's like octopus. And it expects, as Adam Smith said, specialization. And therefore, if by God's grace from the university I was given this opportunity to serve in this particular field, which also has a root of the way we behave as human beings on earth. And I always say that, and I quote the great historian who was also the prophets, who by God's grace Christ met and caused him to write about us, how we were perfect from the beginning. And he wrote in the beginning, in Genesis, which is one of the known books of history in this world, and how suddenly we fell and we became very weak. And therefore, the weakness has manifested itself in so many ways that world, through, by God's grace, has built certain buffers, protection, safety issues, and in it has come up with a safety solution that seeks to support and help human beings in the way we interact on the road. And it's in that UN has affirmed in our lifetime that there are road safety problems that are as a result of our behavior. And therefore there are global plans and solutions, and it requires human resource of member countries to come in and implement those plans. Currently, we are dealing with safe system approach, isn't it, in our lifetime?
Right.
Where Ghana, for example, through our president and the subsisting government, is investing billions of Ghana cedis in delivering safer roads that will protect lives and properties on our road, for example, and always requires that some public servants should be trained in that field, maintain and support, so that we'll be able to implement these policies over time to achieve in our area about 50% reduction of all serious crashes, associated deaths and injuries. And so if I have the opportunity to serve in this field, why don't I specialize? Why don't I be focused? Why don't I show tenacity and to also partner my employer, that's a Ghanaian, to assist in times like this, to be quick, to be punctual, to be regular, and pour out not only the theory, but in the practical aspect of it in traffic, in building capacity of police service personnel in the traffic department, in bringing new solutions other than what I met or what police handed over to us since 1952 through 1974 to 2012, and now when even the new Road Traffic Act that has been passed, amended, is coming with a new airline that has in it, for the first time in our lifetime, moving away from in-person traffic enforcement in terms of detection of offenses and gathering evidence and then putting people before court, now to come up with automated traffic offenses and fines that will move police money away from the road space and come up with a countermeasure called cameras, scanners, so that if you commit round the clock, though police may not be present physically, but technological interface is there to gather evidence on speed behavior that accounts for about 60% of our crashes and deaths, and then all other risk factors that we are committing on our roads, so that it will allow for people to be deterred, behavior to be controlled, and for lives and properties to be protected for our posterity. So for me, it is an honor to serve, and it is good that we have this opportunity, and I believe it's also you. In this space, when I came in, I've had so many people who have supported this area of mine, because it's also about interfacing with the Ghanaian to let the Ghanaian know the intention, and then let the Ghanaians also know what police is doing, and also carry them along, and also take what their suggestion, and that's why, for example, I'm saying that we are moving from in-person to automation from this year first quarter. You will see we have built the capacity, we have built the interface, we have the software, we have the hardware, we have our back office, we have done full circle caution notice issuance and testing, and all that is required is the LI. Fortunately for the act has come. We're waiting for the LI to be late, and then first quarter next year we go, knowing very well that we have also carried along our.
So this is different from the regulation which was passed. This LI you're talking about is different from the one which was passed, which increased alcohol consumption limits and some others. There's a new one which was passed by the Transport Ministry, which is supposed to bring a number of new enforcement, so to reduce the age amongst many other things, made Okada and what have you. This LI which is coming, which is going to allow a lot more automation on the streets, is different from that one.
Not at all. Let me give you 1 minute or two for us to see how far we have come.
Okay.
Because there is no road traffic regulation. That is it. But practically, so that listeners, we'll have
a sense of.
But what we said is this: that the Road Traffic Act came through before even we got the independence.
Right.
It was Ordinance number 52, Road Traffic Ordinance number 52. By 2004, it has been only amended, repealed with Road Traffic Act 63 of 2004. And it is that one that has been just also amended again, because that one was amended in 2008, and then 2020 it was also amended further. First, to also protect women who carry fetus, so that when you drive and crash into them recklessly, then you, in addition for careless driving, you'll be charged for having killed a human being that was about to be born. Apart from that, currently, there are certain laws that needed to be amended to allow for the LI, the Road Traffic Regulation legislative instrument. That also came in 1974. That was amended in 2012, and now needs to be amended so that it will allow for the operationalization of the Road Traffic Act that has been amended. You are talking about, so that it will allow police to also enforce. So the Road Traffic Act that was amended.
It was amended.
In this one, to allow for more prudent and safe use of our road by drivers, so that they don't get involved in consumption of alcohol and drugs. And that's why that reduction has been done, or increase you may call it, from, for example, 35 microgram of alcohol in 100 milliliters of breath, or now it is 21.19 micrograms, and then to allow for the age of commercial license holders to move down from 25 years
to 21,
and then child restraints. I met a family with a child, and they was waving at me, and now all that I said is, you tell the mom that the ensuing year a new regulation is coming, best practice, that you should tell the mom to buy her a baby carrying cot as a safety device at the back, so that you sit comfortably while
and we see a lot of parents do that actually. You see the young ones are seated in the front, sometimes no seat belt buckled and all of them. They'll be jumping in the front seats whilst the parents are driving. That has been taken care of by this new amendment.
So when the act is taken care of like that, it allows stakeholders to come up with a more comprehensive procedures, which is also coming to amend the subsisting road traffic regulation 2012, LI 2180, to mean maybe LI 21 something or whatever.
Whatever name will come of
2026, isn't it? Yeah. That will allow us to use, and that's what I'm saying. That one coming, allowing us to move away from spot fine to automated road traffic offences and fine, where when you commit, you receive evidence on your phone Okay,
of the offense and how much owners, you're being charged,
and all the license holders' phone, and you have within 14 days to pay. Use online payment system. You don't need police interface, And then, like I said, I go and say that we are finished. So, for example, if you are listening to me, *222# you get to know your payment platform. Okay, where to interface? Ghana.gov. That's where government deliver these services, so that you don't incur the wrath of police or go into court again and all that, and all surcharges and all that. So we are building capacities. I'm happy. The year under review, we have engaged, apart from the public sector partners, we have engaged all commercial transport operators across the country and all relevant stakeholders, including corporate Ghana, and then other institutions like Scancom PLC, ECG, VRA, among myriad of stakeholders that owns a lot of vehicles, either on behalf of government, among others. In the year coming, we are going to also zoom in on those who are superintending government vehicles in metropolitan municipal districts, and then ministry, department, and agencies, to ensure that they don't hand over vehicles to drivers who will be engaging in excessive speeding, tailgating, leaving vehicles at unauthorized places, and leaving vehicles without conspicuity or warning devices, or uninsured, on roadworthy, and unlawfully overtaking vehicles at dangerous positions. Well, these are issues that we do. If they view that we will also be achieving the set objectives set for us by UN under the SDG,
right,
from 2020 to 2030, and particularly critical issues like the well-being and the sustainable cities, so that we reduce speeds, we ensure that human beings are protected. We aim, if not zero emission, at least 50% reduction. And that will go a long way.
Right, and that's really great news for a lot of drivers. So from next year, first quarter is when we're expecting this new LI to come into force. It will mean there will be a considerable reduction of, not reduction of police personnel, but human interference in terms of the police on, hey, you've crossed a red light, let's go to the station.
So first of all, the element of going to station may be no more. You see, the person is carrying the scanners. They are carrying scanner that is AI driven and all that. So it's just a matter. Now the law says the new one coming. Beyond it, we all come and discuss it. But this one says that you should carry your license anytime you are driving. But the new one coming is that remember your license number, because we have automated the system. You don't mention your license number to the police officer. He has already gathered the evidence, so he just impute it. You go. The evidence will follow you.
No longer season of license and say, come and meet me in the station.
And then speeding, stop, and then, no, you go. The camera captures independently. We have a back office. Within 3 minutes, a ticket is coming to you on your phone. And it comes with a 6-second video. So you watch it online.
Oh, really?
So it's not a case that...
It's not you'll be accused wrongly and you don't know what...
Going ICT automated, everything should be automated.
This is...
And that's what we are building. And we have done it.
Right. I know about the messaging system.
We have received some the caution notice from our office.
No, I didn't receive. A colleague received it.
We have issued over 120,000 caution notices.
So he actually showed me the message in the office and said, this is and it tells you that you crossed or you jammed the traffic light at this particular spot. This is a test of the system, and
if you are not the owner, go to DVLA and change of ownership and all that.
Yes.
As if you know the law. All these are part of the new law coming. There are procedures in it. All that.
That's fantastic.
That's our electronic notice of violation. So our tickets system is not going to be paper. It's going to be EMV, electronic notice of violation, and you got that was caution notice. The actual one will come, and that comes like a text message, like the services that Ghana Water is delivering and ECG is delivering to customers. Same government services. Though Ghana government has laid the fiber optics ICT infrastructure across the country.
Right.
It is not a joke. And police, we are leveraging on it, okay, so that we deliver services to the same clients that ECG is 7, that VRA is 7, Ghana Water is 7. And that is exactly what Ghana Police has done. We have finished with the investment. We are only waiting for the LI. We have tested it full cycle. We only need further engagement, and then we roll it out. And then that's it.
We'll talk about it when it comes proper, because I know as part of that system, when a message comes and you believe you didn't do anything, you can. There are laid down processes which you can even challenge it.
Very easy. That one too, we have made that option for Ghanaians.
We'll talk. I'm sure you come and then we'll talk about it a lot later. But for this year, even though there's been considerable work, like you mentioned, that has been done, the data from the roads has not been great. It looks like we retrogress to an extent in terms of the road crashes, the injuries, and then the lives lost as well. Comparing the data, because I've done a lot of work with it on TV and some other things, and so I've got to see some of it, even though we're yet to end the year. But it looks like we'll beat, unfortunately, the number of crashes and the number of deaths recorded last year and possibly 2 years ago as well. What may have gone wrong for us this year?
I think, first of all has come to roost, because it was expected. Because if you live in a country, for example, where almost all the sections of the major trunk roads, call it Trans-West African highways, that are serving our neighboring compatriots and our community members in all the 16 political regions and the towns and villages and all that, and then within the 25 police regions across the country. And all the roads as it is are all under construction. It tells you something, knowing very well that within the global road safety plan that was promulgated by the Security Council in 2021, clearly says that within the safe system approach, one major consideration, because human beings are weak, I mentioned it earlier, we cannot absorb energy to the extent that on single carriages you see one person get drunk, for example, or the vehicle tire get burst, or as he's involved in fatigue driving in macro sleeps and he veers off, and as he's unlawfully overtaking a single crash or a vehicle overtaking in column many vehicles at the same time, may crash along, and then in the process you have reported so many times where we have certain instances at Babatukuma, Kintampo, Dompasi, Chichewari, and all other accident-prone areas you can think of. Mention them. We know since 1991 we have the record. See, we go and sometimes 60 people we have lost at one scene, sometimes 50, sometimes 40, into the extent that sometimes it even bursts into flame, and people that get burned into ashes and all that. This is our history on single carriage roads that we have had all these years, and it has really come to hit us. No wonder I'm not surprised that we are seeing this, and at the same time, I've seen a purposive state that says no, it can never happen again, never again, and that let's now inject resources, which is clear example of what UN expects us to do. That member countries should look at re-engineering their road environment, because safer road protects life and property. It reduces accidents by half. And clearly, for last year and this year budget, I've taken closer clinical look at it with a view, and now we see the investment done. It is to cauterize this problem of headlong collusion, because Ghana, we embark on journeys around the clock, isn't it? Yeah. But we have had these bad road safety experiences, and that's why I'm elated that I will not be sitting here next year and be talking about in the next 2, 3, 4 years. We'll not be talking about this. We'll be seeing a consistent reduction because unsafe roads has impacted on our road safety, efforts all these years. And so if you begin to see, and I've gone around, I've seen the big push impact. Currently, almost all the corridors, from the N1 from Elubo through Accra to Aflao. I see sections are broken into pieces for many contractors to get this done in time. Dualize. For example, in my lifetime and you, we are going to see between Cape Coast, for example, and Takra, that 78 stretch, which has killed a lot, including those who lost their lives at Dumpasi. It's not going to be, because 3 contractors, I see them there. We are going to have 13 foot bridges on that corridor. So many access lanes and all the dualized road. When you sleep, where are you going to crash into a headlong? This one will be over. I see the same promise, and I've seen that Parliament has approved it. And I thank God for that in our lifetime. And we should be reporting on those things. That for the first time, apart from the subsisting N6, which is about 170 kilometers from Accra Circle to Swami Roundabout, okay, running through the towns. It's a trunk road. It has its own challenges. It has many, as in,
a lot of potholes,
black spots and all that. Black spots where accidents are repeated. And for the first time, on the N6, when you get to Isawam, it is going to branch expressway akin to the what Kwame Nkrumah did for us in 1965 between Tematulaku Junction to the Accra
Mall area.
Tetekwashi.
Right.
Now we have one from
Nsawam
to Adesso.
Yeah.
Through
that's the expressway. The expressway they're seeking to.
Through Odan and it turns northwards, due north through to Kontintin Forest, comes out at Ashanti region around the Kuntinase by the lake. What is our 198 kilometers, isn't it? And consistent with Regulation 163 of our road traffic regulation, which is about to be amended, the maximum speed in Ghana on the expressway or motorway is 100 kilometers per hour. So within 2 hours, you are in Kumasi, toe end to end. 3 lanes with about 8 interchanges, allowing for safer road to be used by Ghanaians alongside the existing trunk road that will be there. I have seen on the N2, and I've been there. I've seen many contractors on it, right to the Sokode, okay, over the Volta, through Asikuma, and all the way to Sokode, being dualized. We have had a lot of bad experiences on our hands. So when we begin to see these roads, and I went there, I got to Dumpasi on the N1 between Atabazi and then Takrade, and I saw no more the single carriage again. The road is open, preparing for it to use it in a dualized manner that will not come into fiscal court. I'm discussing safer roads alone, for example, as an example for us to know that it has impacted negatively on our records. So when I begin to say that over 13,000 crashes have occurred in Ghana, and which is about 7% above the same period last year, in the last 11 months, and involving about 22,000, and it's also still higher, and many were caused by private vehicles, and they followed by commercial and then motorcycle, and then about 15,000 Ghanaians are carrying varying degrees of injury. Some are very serious ones, and about 2,600 for the first time in our history within 11 months have been killed, with many being majority being the fewer males in Ghana, because many are females in terms of population. But when it comes to crashes, whether pedestrian, whether passenger,
males tend to,
and it begins to give you, and of course, when you begin to also see that of all these deaths, about 1,200 were as a result of motorcycle-related injuries. Okay, it tells you that no, there's also something basically wrong, and it tells you clearly that we have been very negligent. Why negligent? Because we have prohibited the use of motorcycle to be used to carry fare-paying passengers, among others. But we turned around to start using it, whether owning it or sitting on it or riding it and doing all that. And it was beckoning that no, go into that space and regulate. All these years when the figures were going up, and we were, arguing
going back and forth as to whether or not we should get into
you
the
always have to listen to this, what the road tells you. You respond to with policies and interventions, because road safety is intervention based. We did not, and I'm happy in my lifetime that we may not be sitting here be discussing this yet, that there will be high deaths because the year coming, I've seen in the Road Traffic Act, you said, if you see that it has been amended to allow many of the youth who are into this space within the 21-year up bracket to come along with the state. State agencies have been prepared in the LI that is coming to identify you with your operators, present you. You come not only to be presented, but to be identified, screened, and trained in a semester way, and then inculcating you best practices of values, attitudes, in traffic behavior, and your cognitive capacity. At the end of the day, if you pass the theory test, you are put in traffic, and you are issued with the first time a creation of a new license other than the subsistent one, which is commercial motorcycle riders license. To these 21 years and above, who would have passed. And they will not just go on the road. They have a very defined, well-constructed, and marked motorcycles. And under supervisors, like you said, the union are unionized, isn't it? Operating in specified areas under metropolitan and municipal and district assemblies, and being superintended and trained apart by the National Road Safety Authority and DVLA, and of course their transport union executives among others. And we also on the space. But if the roads are coming, if all these things are coming into the space, is it the case that police will also always be standing on the road? I've arrested you, stop at the traffic light and all that? No. After these have been inculcated, the best practice have been inculcated in the riders, it is also will be part of their training that police have deployed these ICT innovative systems, otherwise called Traffic Tech GH, on the way, on the road, with our cameras and with our scanners, and that when you don't comply in the new road traffic regulations coming, you are likely to lose your license within 2 years when you commit more than 6 offenses, among others. And that no matter what you do, if you commit, evidence will be there on your phone and you will be forthcoming. In a way, we also will complement the effort of those who are building their capacity and all that. So we think, among other things that government is putting in place, among better roads, safer vehicles are coming, more EVs are coming, and all that. And police is also shifting there's a paradigm shift from the in-person, more emphasis on the automated, though it will run side by side, but we hope with time, because we have to carry Ghanaians along. They buy into the new one, they get used to it, because even if it's ICT, it all must come on board, isn't it? That's why, for example, when the ticket comes on your phone and it is the Android, you can go online quickly. But what about those who have YAM? You must give them USSD, and that's what I gave you the star 222 hash. Then you can also interact with us, and then we'll give you option to contest or pay. And even if you want to pay, you say view. If you want to contest, view the evidence. And all these are ways for them, and you do that within 14 days. We give you opportunity, and now these are there. We must carry Ghanaians along, because we are entering into a new space. And the new space we are moving away from the ICE vehicle, the internal combustion engine vehicle, to more silent, sleek, quiet vehicles, otherwise called EVs, and which are very smart and all that. So we need to also respond to it with policies, interventions, and including enforcement. And that's exactly what we're doing. So for us, where we are now, we think we must do more. And all these I've mentioned are things that are upcoming. But with the problem that is on our hand now, is the reason why I believe you attest. Since today, you see police officers all over. There are 25 police region, MTTD officers and other ancillary officers are supporting us to engage one-on-one in groups over your microphone through your console, and in front of the cameras, the media, and both digital and all that, to engage our road users, particularly those who are into vehicle use as vehicle owners, and then transport operators, engaging them, and then commuters. We are all over police officers. Apart from, at the same time, we are on the roads, and during rush hours, we are in our heights. We make sure that the junctions are not choked. and during rush hour in the morning, we are pulling traffic towards the city centers, and deep into the night from late afternoon, we ensure that peri-urban also have their share of receiving the commuters who came to the city centers. And these are ongoing, and it will subsist till next year. Again, we are collaborating with other stakeholders, apart from the media. For example, we are in constant relationship with Guinness Ghana PLC, where we are on the road, apart from sensitizing and engaging, particularly drivers who might getting themselves involved in festive occasions like this in alcohol consumption or drug use, and sensitizing and testing drivers on the spot, on the road, as we stop and check. And so all these things are going on with the view and the hope that as the adage go, you don't only rely on only stringent enforcement, as we also need to engage the community members so that together able to enhance compliance and self-compliance, of course, when this is not present. So these are the challenges we have, and these are the hope and the solutions and the on our feet services we are delivering to serve Ghanaians.
Right, and it's great. You've pretty much laid it all out for us in terms of why perhaps we've seen the accidents in the manner and the numbers or the statistics with which we've seen. That solution is coming because across the length and breadth of the country, there appears to be a certain deliberateness to dualize our roads, because a single carriage has been our biggest bane in terms of traffic and what have you. And so that's a positive. There's the bit about the Okada as well, which is being taken care of with this new amendment which we've seen. Let's talk about Christmas, the Christmas festivities and the traffic situation. Yes, your men are on the streets at the various intersections, but this morning, and I think this morning, Helen, we're talking about traffic, right? And how traffic is building up in different parts. How are you managing it? Because it's intense.
Oh,
the festive season. The
way you use that is intense.
Oh no, I'm serious. I was telling them I was at around Jolu on Friday. You couldn't move. Nobody could move for another two. This was around 3 p.m. thereabouts.
All right.
Jolu around.
Is it on the Obasanjo way from Kaukudi Towers or from?
So from.
Don't you know
so that you take.
Oh yeah, it's very important. Policing is also contingent on the situation. And the locality where.
So someone is my producer is telling me Legon yesterday. I think yesterday was an event.
There were two programs happening on there. The Ring Road at the Botema.
Yes.
Okay, and one on the N4 at Opomulu.
Yes. On the Zamadisco Black Sheriff's concert was also happening. So
JJ Rollins. I think we also that we did our best.
Yes.
When you have influx, or normally it's unusual, but when it's such an influx, you begin to have some of this.
But generally, how are you managing it?
Generally, we in times like this, I want 3 News viewers and listeners to appreciate the times we live in. The times, and this is a global.
It's a festive period.
It is it's on a religious calendar globally, particularly in the West. Those of us who believe in Christ, very soon, the heavily pregnant Mary will deliver safely in Bethlehem, isn't it?
Yes.
It is historical. It was codified for us, no long. Isn't it? And Moses told us that one day this day will happen, and he said it in the beginning, Genesis 3:15, that you, the devil, I will crush your feet, I will crush your head, isn't it? I'll crush your head, and to crush the head, Christ has to be born first, and it happened. Okay, and that's what we are celebrating, and in celebrating it has long holidays, and so culturally it has crept into ours. People travel from the diaspora in-house. Others also move from the other towns into the cities, and from the cities also. Commercialization also increases. Our market women, we use this occasion to serve and celebrate also them. And churches are always crisscrossing. And a lot of engagement goes on, including the usual joint celebrations and all that. So it is an outward activity. So expect commercial activities to go on. Expect people to rest and enjoy, families to get together. Expect window shopping and shopping among others. It is basic. It is good for world economies and Ghana economy.
Yeah,
and it allows for vehicle congestion. It allows for it because unusual people will converge. And what is required is that police and other security or agents will be present. The presence is what is important. As for traffic congestion, it is basic with it and it's global. But for us, we are present. We know the times we live in. We are present. Police officers are there on time during morning rush hour, and we stay in the afternoon till late. As I'm speaking, the Director General has issued a further instruction that police officers in big cities like Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Koforidua, Serioso, Takoradi, Cape Coast, Techimai, Tamale, and all where we find ourselves where these engagements are ongoing, they will stay long into the night. For example, show our presence. So we see our police officers have moved, taken these working dress off and have put on their white tunic with the high reflective vest on it to ensure that they are safer, and they will carry their flashlight at night, serve Ghanaians till the roads are free in the evening. Again, we are also, like I said earlier, we are engaging the community members in sensitization, sharing information like this, and also constantly liaising with metropolitan and municipal assembly that are serving in these areas where traffic is increasing because of conurbation and other things, that certain shoulders of the road, or all the shoulders of the road, should be free of those who are put constructed materials and others, and those who are fond of bringing their chairs and tables to occupy such spaces during the night as pubs. They should remove all of them so that people can window shop, people can walk up and down in the streets and celebrate, because it's part of the celebration. So when you are on our roads and see police officers are present and there's traffic congestion, is an unusual occasion that we must celebrate. Know that schools have closed, shoppers are in, and all others, and so the road is experiencing unusual influx, and that is what is it. It's beyond the carrying capacity of the roads, because the pedestrians are many, vehicles are there, and all that. And so let us celebrate it rather, but we can assure members of that we serve that we are not living here. We are here. We will be there till they go home, and when they come in the morning, they will meet us there, and that we will do. And I know others are testifying that how you see how we are synchronizing our work when in the evening today, when you are going from Accra, from the Liberation or from the Independence Avenue from 37 to the Liberation, you see how Airport MTT will coordinate with Legon MTT, and how they will coordinate from the UPSA junction with the Zongo junction MTT, the Medina, and how Medina also is coordinating with PWASP, Dinah Mensah and her team from Adentan all the way on the N4 or the JJ Rollins Avenue all the way to Ayimensa, over the Scarp to Aburi and beyond. And the morning too, we do say, and on the same N6 you see how Accra Central, Tesano and Mile 7 and Pokuase and Amasaman are also doing, and on the N1 that direction towards Winneba, you see how Tesano again working together with Odoko, working with Malam, and then Wija and Aman from Kaswa and Hannah and team are also coordinating in the Central East, Kaswa and Zambaron, to ensure that the roads that are also, that road is also almost open for us to use, at least the main roadway.
It's been under construction,
they are almost through to allow commuters to use it from Kaswa Oduponkwe through Potson to Winneba roundabout and beyond. And these coordinations are done. I'm talking only about Accra, but if you go to Kumasi, the same thing is happening in Ashanti North, Ashanti South, and Ashanti in particular. See, in Ashanti region, we have divided it for effective policing into three regions, and to allow coordination and to serve our members very well. And these are doing it across the country with the hope that others will also appreciate, so that vehicle owners will ensure that safer vehicles are brought on the road. That is also what we are appealing. Safer roads will be on the road. Safer vehicles, I hope you know, are vehicles that are roadworthy, are running on good tires, and are great, and has appropriate seat that will serve majority of our community members who are passengers. And then the drivers will also behave in a manner that will protect life and property, particularly with the safe use of speeds.
Right.
And it's that integral part of our sensitization, awareness creation, and information sharing, that under the safe system approach, one way to protect our life, apart from safer routes and roadside, it's also safer road users and safer vehicles. And there are safer road users relates to a driver who use safer speeds. That's why we keep on saying that if you are a driver in times like this, because of the traffic congestion in town.
One of the things, there are actually no vehicles in a number of places. I have someone in Cape Coast who's trying to come to Accra, and people have been stuck at stations for God knows how long. I have another person who was supposed to come from Ho to Accra yesterday as well. There were no buses, and there are people at the stations. And so the drivers will want to be in a hurry to come and go back and come and go back, so that they can make money, and they'll be on speeds that are not safe.
So the reason why we keep on reminding them that when we are in town, we know that because the places are crowded, maximum the law says 30, and when you are in open road in town, it is 50, and on highway 90. And on motorway only 100, and that we are emphasizing on it. It doesn't matter the times we live in. It is 30 in crowded area, and then 50 in open area in urbanized environment, and then 90 on highway, and only maximum 100 on motorway. And that we are supposed to, because beyond it, we are not safe. It's the reason why crashes are also going up, because most of the crashes I've mentioned, it doesn't matter whether motorcycle cause it or four-wheeler, of all the crashes, analysis show that about 60% were as a result of excessive and inappropriate speeding. And so it's also part of our engagement with our members of that we serve, that please, a human body cannot absorb such high velocity of speeds, and therefore we pray that you comply with regulation 163, and police officers are there to warn you that you don't move above the set speed limits. Know that we are also deploy currently our handheld cameras.
Right.
When you get we will take you to court. Know that this between January and November this year, we have processed before court over 400 road offenders, including those who engage in dangerous speeds, and the court has convicted about 350, and out of the 350, 12 are already in jail serving. Well, that's not what we want, but so in an attempt
just
to
drive safely and avoid.
You wouldn't have any problem also with the court, particularly when you comply with our sensational messages.
Chief Superintendent Alexander Obeng, I appreciate you joining us in the studio. It's been very insightful.
Thank you very much.
I'm looking forward in particular to the rollout of
we work together.
The technology next year.
And we will take you to our back office.
I'll be glad to go and see how it
processing ticket within 3 minutes, our flow, and interacting with our stakeholders, including vehicle owners and license holders.
Right. Thank you very much for joining us in studio this morning as well. That's Chief Superintendent Alexander Obeng, the Director of Education.